I like the trailer though.
The guy on the motorcycle chapter had that.
Uh-huh.
And he got a trike, and he can't use it no more. He's like, hey, you know, transport motorcycles, I sure could use that thing.
So, I got a battery hooked to this thing. I have not tried to start it. I just hooked the battery up. Let's just see what it does. He said it would just click. So I don't know if the engine really is locked up or bad starter. Looks like we got lights. We know about the radio. Oh, this one don't have the, yeah it is. Well, the radio don't work. Let's see what it does. She's a clicker. But that don't necessarily mean the engine's locked. But it's smoking the battery cable. I don't believe starter. It could be. The only real way to tell is to take the, I think you can take the timing cover off. And you can put a ratchet on the crankshaft and just see will it turn over. But it's got all the lights. I remember him telling me that the dash was kind of dim where you couldn't see the mileage. Does the turn signals work? Yeah. Turn signal there. That battery might be kind of dead too. These Goldwings don't like when you try and jump it. It really needs a good battery source. Plus these cables are extra long. Let's see. We got turn signal this way. Alright. So we know we got turn signals. Flashers? Yeah. Got flashers. That's for the radio. Horn button don't work. I think I really just got a bad connection. He might have been trying to jump it with some jumper cables, because this is really not a good connection. Whoa. Oh, we got the key on. Plus these cables are really long and that takes up battery source. I don't know. Let's pull the plugs out and see what they look like. And if they look all rusty looking, then we know this thing set got water in it. If not, maybe we'll try and get some shorter cables to hook the battery to it. And then we'll move on with, I guess, pulling that cover off, see if we can get it turned by hand. So I'm gonna get some tools together. We'll pull the plugs. All right, pull the plugs out this thing and see what they're looking like. If we don't find that he's already put some kind of lubricant down in the cylinders. Look. Smell like bad gas. I wonder if it's just got gas now in the cylinders. Because you can, I guess they call it hydrolock a motor. You get fuel down on top of the pistons, and the compression don't have anywhere to go, especially if the valves are closed. And that fuel will cause more compression in the cylinder, and it won't let the engine turn over. They're foul. They look like new plugs, but on the outside, but so I'm gonna go over here and take the other ones out. I just don't believe this thing is locked up. It's got fresh oil in it. Well, these plugs over here look kind of rusty. I don't see any signs of transmission fluid. I know y'all are way over there, but I'm just going to snap these out and I'll bring them over there. That one looks foul. Got some grass or something in there. Well, we got 3 of them now. Let's just see what they turn over anyway. It's got some grass in that other plug hole. The starter's actually kicking in, but so we really need to look down in those plug holes and see if we see anything, but I don't really know until we take the timing cover off. Let's see, we see anything? It's kind of wet in there. I don't know if it's gas. I know these plugs over here smell like bad gas. He said it was sitting in the shed, so I don't know if moisture got to it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see can I get this timing cover off, and if I can get it out of there with ease, we'll try and ease it over with a ratchet, and that'll really tell if it's the starter or the engine. This. I wonder if we put it in gear and kind of rock it back and forth. What would that do? Well, I can't even get to the tire. No, it ain't gonna work. Let's see. Now I gotta even do it. This has got a broke timing belt. That just don't sound like starter to me. Anyway, I'm gonna see can I get this timing cover off and see can you turn it over that way. I don't see any rust on the plugs. They just look foul, but it does look wet in there. But who knows? So I'm gonna go ahead and drain the coolant system. I'm thinking you got to pull the radiator off in order to get to the timing cover all the way. It's a 2-piece cover, and there's like, I think it's, I can't tell. I think it's just 2 pieces. You got bolt here and bolt on the other side. But I really would like to see what's in the cooling system. So I got a wrench. Let's just, I already broke it earlier. Oh, we got antifreeze. So that's good. So it didn't freeze up and bust. But still, you got to pull the radiator in order to get to that crankshaft bolt if you're going to try and turn it over by hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking it's just these two tins, and there's the top hose, and if I pull the cover off, the bottom hose should be on the other side. No, there's the bottom hose here. So pull the bottom hose, top hose, two tins, unplug the fans, and we should be able to get the radiator out. I mean, push comes to shove, somebody want to buy it, you know, I already put in the ad that didn't know what's wrong with it. So, and I told them that that one's got a good engine, so who cares? It ain't like these things are worth $1 million, but at least they know that one has a good engine, and they can probably swap all the wire harnesses over to that one instead of pulling the engine out. But anyway, I'm gonna get this radiator off. We'll get this cover off. See if we can turn this thing over by hand. I already tried to put it in gear and rock it, and that didn't work. So we'll have to just go straight to the source, which will be the crankshaft. Right, so I got the radiator out of the way. Let's see if we can get this cover off. Had some good antifreeze in it, so that was good. Now I have heard that the timing belt can break on these and wrap around the crankshaft, and that would make it seem like that the engine's locked up. Well, we can get to see what kind of timing belt it's got in there. It might have a bad timing belt. I don't think nobody really serviced these things too much unless you was a real hardcore rider. But the weekend warrior type probably never did change timing belts, just like on a car. So hopefully I don't have to take this engine. Well, timing belt is definitely on there, and it's definitely tight on that side. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna come over there. You can actually do the timing belt on the road if you had to. You had the proper tools. With this off, we should be able to get to that crankshaft bolt. And see if we can get it to spin. Now he said the gentleman that had this bike had passed away, and they had a estate sale, and they left it in the shed. Uh-oh. I think I might have to take this sidebar off. This is the crankshaft right here though. So that belt is still on. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just gonna, before I take all that off, I'm going to get a ratchet. Let's put a ratchet on it. I mean, ain't no sense of pulling all that off. I say let's just get a ratchet on that crankshaft bolt. That looks like what? That was 3/4, might be 13, 16. Let's just see what we can get. Get some kind of movement. Let's try 3/4. It's actually a 18. Like that. So, I didn't put anything in the cylinder. I want to just try this first. You know what? It was a 3/4. It's actually a 3/4. I had a 19 on there first. 3/4 word. I don't have my deep well 3/4. I only got a shallow. Just had a little play in it. Oh yeah, she's locked. It's locked up pretty good. I don't think it's starter that's got it locked. I think it's just maybe it got water in it, or maybe the engine just locked up. I mean, it don't have that many miles on it. Even hitting the torque. So it's definitely locked up. It's got clean oil in it. It's got antifreeze in it. The only thing I can think of is water got down in it. Some moisture got in it sitting in the shed. I mean, some of the aluminum do look kind of like it's got a mold on it. Like, you know, the aluminum has changed colors. So what we could do is just dump some oil down in the cylinders, let it sit for a couple days. Yeah, it's locked pretty good. We can dump some transmission fluid or something in the cylinders, let it sit, and then hopefully that will free it up. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just get some transmission fluid. I got 3 of the plugs out. I'm gonna pop that other plug out. Well, I'm gonna blow the hole out first, cause blow the hole. Get rid of the grass and stuff that's in there so it won't fall in the cylinder. Man, look at the size of that dirt dauber's nest. So it was last tagged in 2013. The good thing is nothing don't look molested, like something was chewing on your wires. There's not a lot of wires bypassed. These Goldwings, they get people hooking up stuff. I didn't see if the air suspension worked. Get people hooking up stuff, and then the next thing you know, it's got all kind of stuff wrong with it, wiring wise. Let's just see. That's the relay. I think that's the release button. That's the only buttons it's got. So one of these, oh, I hear something clicking. It's probably the, I hear something. Something's going wrong. It's probably the compressor. I mean, none of that stuff didn't ever really work anyway. I mean, it did when it was new. So that's gonna be it for right now on the Aspencade. I'm gonna let it sit with some transmission fluid in it probably about a day, and maybe we can get it freed up. My other option would be if nobody didn't buy it, this one over here ran pretty good. Problem is carburetors. I don't know what those are gonna look like. I still got the carburetors that came off the 85. Deal with this bike is no title. So I got it with no title. People just don't keep titles to motorcycles no more, especially the old ones. So the 86 has got a title. So what I could do if I really wanted to do it, if nobody don't buy it, I could swap all the electrical off the 84 to the 86. The electrical on that bike is butchered to death. And since this one's not fuel injected, it's just a harness, one straight harness, look like just running through the bike. Got the fuse box, ECU, voltage regulator. Take the front fairing, I mean it's a bunch of just unplug and plug and play up under here. We could take the wire harness off this bike, put it on that bike. That one's got good front forks. This one here, front forks are leaking. And they've been leaking. We had to change the back tire because I took the back tire off the 86 fuel injected and swapped it out with that bike. Which this one, it's got a like brand new back tire down there. The front tire's in good shape too. Yeah, that tire looks good. So that could be an option to swap everything off this bike to that bike. It has a title, and that'll be a running bike, and get the carburetor straight, one set of them. We'll probably play with this set because those other sets, the one I took off the 85, I don't trust them. But this, the gas don't smell bad in there though. I mean, all these bikes sit up since 2013. What's up with that? But anyway, that could be an option. Change everything over to this one. The bags, I mean everything. The whole front fairing. Probably, well, we got the throttle cable, so we could run the high bars, or just change the bars too. But like I was saying, this harness here, someone's just been cutting in it and cutting in it and relaying and cutting in it. So, and I think I snapped the plug off for the voltage regulator for the 86. So we can just swap everything over. And this would be a running bike. Put the exhaust over there, since we got to drop the exhaust to take the tire off anyway, because this one didn't have exhaust at the back. Put the shocks, because somebody put some rinky-dink motorcycle shocks off something else. And that bike could be a title bike. Maybe we can get it running. But that's just if nobody don't buy it. I'm gonna leave it in like it is. I've already put the ad out there. Don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, somebody interested, I tell them, you know, engine's locked up. You can make a project out of both of them, or parts. So I don't have much money in either one of them. Got that one in on the trade, plus some cash for the 86. So it's basically like I got that bike for free, and this bike has paid for itself over and over again for parts for the 85 and the 86. So anyway, that's gonna be it for right now. Again, thank y'all for leaving comments and subscribing and sharing. Ring that notification bell. Just keep watching the YouTube shorts. I'll be trying to put some of those out. Look at the Facebook channel and Instagram. So that's gonna be it. And like I said before, we'll holler at y'all later. So just when y'all thought I was gone, well, I put some transmission fluid in the cylinders, let it sit for about maybe an hour. And what I did, I hooked the battery up, and I've been hitting the start button, and I can feel the starter engaging into the flywheel and actually putting a little pressure on the crankshaft. I can feel a movement, and you can see it with my ratchet. Let me see here. Now I don't know if I'm going the right direction, but just watch the ratchet. See that little movement? It's barely turning. I hope I don't get sprayed in the face with transmission fluid. It looks like it's going that direction. So I think it's gonna free up. I took the air filter top off, and it's real clean in there. The air filter looks good. I don't see no sign of water. But you can just barely see the crank. When I put the ratchet in the opposite direction, see the crankshaft is barely turning. See that? Now I'm putting pressure on it. And I can feel it fighting back. So I think if I just let it sit for like a day, let's see here. Just let it sit for like a day. I think it's gonna free up. Just have to come out here and just kind of. Uh-oh. Hope I didn't mess the start up, because now only the cylinder is clicking. Uh-oh. Yeah, starter's kind of warm, just a little bit. I don't think it would be the starter though. I've never really seen a starter lock up. Now we're in trouble. We only got solenoid. Hope I didn't burn the starter. Unless it's hung. Just taking the bolt loose. Where's the starter wire? The starter wire just needs to cool off. Let me get something to tap with. Now we only got solenoid. I know what that's about. Since we're not making a good connection. Maybe the starter's bad. And now that we been hitting it with the start button, maybe the starter's locked. I don't see how, but we can't really get to it because you have to pull this guard off. I know because I just did it on the 85. Because now the starter's not making any noise. And I think we might be able to slide it back some. Just slide it out of the hole, and that should eliminate the starter. So let me get a 8mm. We'll slide the starter out of the hole, and starter's right here. So it's an 8mm. Maybe we can, like I say, move that starter back. And if we can do that, if the starter is locked, as soon as I find my ratchet, if the starter is locked, we'll know then that's what's hanging it up. Because I can feel resistance on the crankshaft. What I just did with my ratchet. Oh well, I'll just get another one. Look like I got 12 ratchets around here. See, that's one bolt there. Shouldn't lose no oil. I do see a lot of oil on the frame. But one thing about it, a starter rides on a chain drive. So you have to be careful. I don't know if I can be able to get in there to get to that bolt without taking the pipes loose. Unless I use a swivel. Gear shifter's right in the way. I just can't believe that starter just stopped working. Unless we just got it too hot. That's making me think the starter's bad. So I'm gonna see, can I get some swivels, get that starter moved, and then see if we can just barely bump it with the ratchet. So I got the starter out of the block almost, and it still won't turn over. So I don't know if the starter just took a crap, but it's still locked up. So we'll just let it sit with the transmission fluid in there, and I wonder if I lightly press the start button with the starter turned. Well, gotta make sure that it ain't touching the frame. Now the starter won't say nothing. So I'm thinking the starter might have took a dump too. None of the fuses is not blowed. Unless it's the solenoid, but so I guess the starter then took a dump. So we'll just let it sit with transmission fluid. I'll put the starter back in there so that little, it's chain driven. I don't want that gear to hop off that chain. And like I said, we'll just let it sit. So like I said in the first few minutes before I signed off, holler at y'all later. So I thought I had something going, but it's just gonna have to sit. So alright. Well, it don't seem like I'm gonna be able to get this engine freed up. It's been sitting for about, I want to say 3-4 days maybe. I poured some more transmission fluid down in it, and it still froze. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put it on the back burner for now, because I got another project coming up, and I think it's a little bit better than this. Plus, I got somebody wanting to buy, I think they want to buy this one, but I told them I'd sell both of them together as a pair, and they can take them and do what they want to do. The guy actually wants a good engine, which we know that's a good engine. I've cranked it up a couple months ago, and I said, man, just bring your truck and a trailer, and I'll load you up with Goldwing stuff. So we'll see where that goes through. And I say, I don't know why it's locked up. I talked to the guy I got it from. He said that it was sitting in a storage shed where he got it from. It was at a estate sale, and it's got decent gas in it. It wasn't any water in the oil, so I don't know if they rolled it and locked it up. The oil looked fresh, so maybe they locked it up and changed the oil and thought that was gonna fix it. I just don't have the time to tear it down to really fool with it any further. So I'm just gonna scoot them out of here. Like I say, hopefully that guy buys both of them and take them and get them running. If not, maybe another month, if I got everything else I got going on cleared up. We'll scoot them back in. And like I said, I was going to transfer all the plastics and stuff off of this one and the wire harness over to that one. So if I get everything cleared up that I got going, plus this other new project that just rolled in, like I said, I'll get them back in here, and we'll see if we can make one bike out of the two. Because I had to take the back wheel off of this one, put it on that one. The shocks off this one, put it on that one. The wire harness, all the fairings, the front fender. That one's got a new tire on the front, so I'll just leave that one on there. The brake calipers, I mean, it'll be a time-consuming job. Which these bikes, it's not worth a whole lot of money. I mean, if you got a nice clean one, maybe $25,000, $3,000. I mean, they're kind of dinosaurs. You know, there's a lot of guys that still like them, but they don't have reverse. So usually the air suspension on them don't work anymore. But there's plenty of eBay parts out there. There's plenty of parts bikes. So, but like I say, right now I just don't have the time to really do it. I thought this would be a quick fix here. Getting this engine unstuck and maybe throw those other carburetors I got off of the 85 on here, because we know they do work. Or maybe these carburetors might have panned out, but it's going to be more in depth into get that engine unstuck. So anyway, we'll just move these out the door. Like I say, I still got other projects, and right now this is going to just sit for a minute. So hopefully the guy buys them, get them out of my way. Or if one of y'all out there want to buy them, I mean, I'll make you a smoking hot deal. Bring your truck. You know they coming for me, so load you up. So anyway, y'all have a good week, good weekend. I got another project I'm gonna roll in. I'll be making a video out of it, and y'all just be looking forward to that. And hit that like button if you haven't. Subscribe. As I always say, ring that notification bell, and pass it on to some friends. And that's it. So later.